Hey guys, what's up? It's Dog, and we are back with GT Sports Episode 6. So, let's see. Right, so all of my past gameplays, I found out, I tried to capture a clip looking at this news thing that was mentioned, and apparently it didn't record properly. So let me go back into that now. Where is it at? The 21st. I think it was. Where is it? Okay. So anyway. There was a bug. Oh, this is annoying me now. I can't find it. But there was a bug, and what happened was the game worked fine on most wheels, but if you're using a controller like I am, then the controller sensitivity, the steering sensitivity wasn't it wasn't set up right for some reason. So let's see if that was addressed in this update. Yeah, see. So the sensitivity was too low. So the controller steering sensitivity of the DualShock 4 has been increased in order to improve handling during oversteering and drifting. So in episode 5, I said I would attach a video of me drifting at the end of the video, and then I spent like a half hour trying to do that last event. So the video, the entire length of that video ended up being too long for me to even bother with attaching the drifting at the end of it. So let me see what else is here. There's steering wheel controller, I'm not using that. There's other issues have been addressed. Cool. So we'll find out now if my steering is back to normal. Normal, and by normal I mean how it was in GT5 and GT6. Instead of being so slow that that basically everything's almost uncontrollable. And what I want to do for this video is I'm going to do that drift trial again, that same drift trial in arcade mode. Let's see. I gotta figure out which one it was. And what we'll do is we'll compare the two drift trials side by side. I'm going to use the same car, same settings. I'm using a loaner car, so I actually can't change the settings. There's this track here, I think. So it's the same car. Yeah, let's make it a different color. So there we go. So before this update, it's going to be a yellow M4, and after this update, it's a blue M4. So they said they adjust the steering issues. So let's see. Now on top of that, I do still have the new physics to deal with. So you know that's going to be possibly a little tricky. We did use comfort hards in the other one. Yeah, and it doesn't let you adjust any of the settings because it's a loaner car. Technically, I could go into the MFD and modify the brake bias, but I'm not going to bother with that because I didn't know about that at the time, and this is the wrong track. It was the other layout. Now again, still on comfort hards, ABS off. We're going to give it a go. So that's the score, 12,796. Alright, so that's not an issue. My steering like that, that's just me not being used to the car, track. Alright. So yeah, the new physics definitely provides more of a challenge when drifting. And it doesn't help that I'm not very familiar with this track. In the hills, you definitely feel a difference. With the weight transfer when you're going downhill. I almost saved that one. I should have gotten on the gas more, maybe, or something. I don't know. That's going to fail. But I definitely feel like I have more control when I'm reversing a drift. So I want to beat my score though, because before I had almost no control and I had more control. It's still difficult though because what do you call them? Because, you know, familiarity with the track's a bit lacking. The car, it's not tuned. So it's not quite as friendly as it could be. And I just don't feel like spending my money to actually buy a drift car right now. Alright, just barely. But the point is that I can drift a little better now. So, yeah. And it didn't take like half hour or whatever just to actually get somewhere. And I was able to reverse a drift. You know, without really, it was so easy to reverse a drift. I don't know. Because before, if I reversed a drift, the car just spun right around. You couldn't reverse the drift. You could try, and it's like you had to really be so delicate. Like almost, like you just couldn't turn the wheel fast enough. No matter how hard you tried, you just couldn't do it. Yeah, I guess I should show my replay. Just because I showed the replay in the other one as well. Display all the race info. There we go. We might see that the steering responds much more quickly in this replay than in the other one. I'm not entirely sure actually, but I can say this part here was hell before, and now it's like the easiest part. It's actually the first part, the first section. It's a little more difficult because you have to deal with going downhill when you're braking. Even when you're not braking, as soon as the car gets sideways, it just wants to get more and more sideways. The rear end just wants to come around more, and you have to really, you have to catch that and control it more. So the physics definitely feel a little more refined in that regard. That there's more of a difference in the way the car behaves, whether you're going uphill, downhill, or on a level track, on a level surface, compared to GT6. It's a little more pronounced. Well, the GT6 had that as well, but there just weren't that many drift trials that took place where you really had to deal with the high elevation. And again, I usually tune my car to deal with that, so I didn't really notice it that much. Here I'm using a stock setup, like if I go in and we look at the settings, right? So these anti-roll bars are absolutely horrible for drifting. The dampers, the camber, the toe angle, just terrible. The diff, again, kind of terrible for drifting. The gear ratios, not really that great for drifting, but that all aside, the car has a pretty good amount of power and torque. On top of that, it shifts very quickly. It's got like some kind of you don't even have options in here for multi-clutch or whatever, or multi-play clutch or whatever. But you can tell it. You can really tell the difference between when a car has like a standard clutch or when it has like a multi-plate clutch and that sort of deal, in the speed of the shift, and the rev hang or lack of rev hang or whatever. And this car has almost no rev hang, so I can very freely shift while I'm drifting and adjust the way the car is handling based on what gear I'm in very easily. So even though it's a stock setup which is absolutely horrible for drifting, it just kind of makes up for with the power and with that multi-play clutch. So steering responds much more quickly in this replay than in the other one. The steering responds much more quickly in this replay than in the other one. So yeah, I'm going to conclude this video here. It feels kind of weird because I've only been recording for about 15 minutes, but I do have another video clip that has already been pre-recorded, so I need to, you know, take that into consideration. So, you know, a very quick thing here, and well, wait a minute. I don't have an outro on the other clip, so yeah. I could probably edit around that. See you guys later. Hopefully I've edited around to put my outro at the end. And yeah, goodbye.